Greetings, YouTube. For the past several days, I have been sent screenshots from various members of the community, mostly in the Line app, showing me what was perceived to be a violation of Alliance War terms and agreements. Now, I wanted you to know, because this is very important to me, that I have made mistakes in the past where I've received these kind of messages and been quick to make a video. And in that video, even though maybe my intentions were pure, the outcome certainly was not. And if you make a video as a YouTube content creator that does not have all the information, you risk putting out misinformation or misleading information. And there have been a few times in my YouTube career where that unfortunate outcome has occurred, and I want to do my best to not keep making that same mistake. So even though I appreciated the messages from various people in the screenshots, I chose to do nothing but keep silent on this issue because I wanted there to be more of a finality to it before I actually made a video on it. Well, in the last 24 hours, I can confidently say that that finality has been achieved, and thus I can make this video knowing that I did not mislead anyone in the community unintentionally, and going forward, this is the kind of thing I want to do more, as to be patient, because no one remembers really who gets things out first, but everyone remembers who gets things out wrong, and that is a very important lesson I try to pass on to my students when reporting journalistic stories as well. So, in the United States, where I am broadcasting from right now, we have heard the C word thrown a lot in terms of our election, and the C word is colluding. And basically the definition of colluding is trying to rig or determine an outcome for a guaranteed outcome before the event actually occurs. So in the United States, there's theories that there's collusion with Russia when it comes to the election. No proof of that yet, but that's certainly why that word is being thrown around. But in the Marvel Contest of Champions universe, that word has been thrown around quite a bit in the Alliance War sector. So basically, if this is the first time that you are seeing a video about this issue, let me give you a 15 to 20 second recap. Basically, in the very top of the Alliance War community, where there is such pressure to stay and not lose points, you have alliances, when they get matched up, that collude to determine the defenders and the outcome before it even begins. Well, how is that possible, you might ask? Well, basically, the alliance will put down the easiest amount of defenders possible, all 2 stars essentially, people with such low health that every single match is an easy fight, causing that alliance to not have to use any items or units while still getting a perfect attack rating, which maybe, I guess, in their mind, hopefully keeps them, even with the loss, in the highest bracket possible. Now, of course, this is such a crazy, unfair disadvantage to the other members of that ranking, that platinum rating, who are looking to move up, because you are, if you're them, you're spending hundreds, if not even thousands of units in Alliance War and not moving up because of this unfair advantage. And I've seen people who are from those alliances who are saying, look, this is Kabam's fault. They're continuing to match us up against an alliance that is so superior that even if we were to put our best defenders down, we would still lose, and we would waste items in the process in order to basically guarantee a loss. And while it is not going to be argued in this video that Kabam's matchmaking system needs huge improvements, because I have been on that end plenty of times in the alliances that I've been in, where you're maybe in a gold tier and all of a sudden you're facing an alliance that seems like they should be in a platinum tier, someone that's got such better defenders that it almost feels like you're the junior varsity of a sports team going up against the varsity of another school all of a sudden, and there's nothing you can do. Like, that is a significant issue, and that does need to be addressed. But regardless, that is not justification for collusion, because you are simply doing something that puts you at an advantage in terms of staying at that top rating with the points that you get for everybody else who's playing fairly in that tier. So I have been told, and I don't know that this has been confirmed, but I have been told that the alliances that were caught actually lost about 1.5 million points, and that is unbelievably significant. That's like a 2-year ban of steroid usage in baseball. But I have pulled up what is the official announcement from Kabam. And again, this is why I've waited, because I wanted to get something official and not speculation, even with screenshots to you before now. So Summoners, a number of you have taken the time to report a pattern of behavior in Alliance Wars that you feel violates the spirit and competitive nature of Alliance Wars. This is referring to the act of collusion, there's that C word I was talking about, when two or more alliances make agreements behind closed doors that affect the outcome of their match. This behavior not only has a negative effect on alliances that do not partake in collusion, but on the standings of all alliances and the leaderboards of Alliance War seasons in general. This behavior violates the spirit of Alliance Wars and the contest as a whole and is not allowed. We will not tolerate this kind of manipulation of Alliance Wars and will punish alliances for this behavior in the same manner we do for piloting and the use of third-party software to unbalance the game. Actions will be taken on alliances after an investigation has been conducted, and we are confident in our verdict. That is pretty significant right there. This means that we base our actions on in-game evidence, screenshots from chats. So yes, all of those screenshots that have been sent to me have apparently been sent to Kabam headquarters as well, or secondhand information will not be considered, as these are easily manipulated and not reliable evidence. Now, I do want you to know, if you're watching this and you're really upset because you're from one of these alliances that colluded, but you feel like you did it fairly, I passed on nothing to Kabam. I remained silent in all terms and waited for their official response, so those screenshots did not come from me. However, I hope this also gives Kabam a much-needed eye-opening moment in terms of their matchmaking, because that is a significant issue. And I can understand if you are at the very top of the Alliance War pyramid, but you keep getting matched up against the same alliance that's just better and has better defenders and better attackers, and you're going to lose, 3 or 4 in a row guaranteed. Why that is frustrating, but collusion is not the answer. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who, if this happened to your alliance, let's just call it what it is. They might quit after this. At the end of Alliance War Season 2, they might just say, you know what, this is the last straw. I'm done, and I guess so be it. But I truly believe, having played in a Platinum Alliance before I moved back to Gold for, 6 months, that the pressure is so insane to not die that it's just the craziest anxiety possible. At least for me it was. And it's a guaranteed burnout. I don't care how good the rewards are. If you have that kind of pressure in every fight in a mobile video game that's supposed to be fun, but really it feels like it's torture in terms of emotional manipulation and certainly negative outcomes, you're just going to end up getting burnt out and quitting. And I think that's the biggest problem right now with Alliance War seasons, is that even at the very top, when you get these amazing rewards that allow you to rank 2 your 6-star champion or rank 5 your 5-star champion, the emotional cost of the fatigue that you get after doing these crazy high-pressured Alliance Wars for 2 months straight is too much for the average summoner to bear. And I completely understand that. And Kabam shouldn't want their best and their top tier players to quit, and yet we saw this at the end of Alliance War Season 1, and I would not be surprised if we see this again at the end of Alliance War Season 2. So that's the news on this collusion issue. I hope that I've explained it well enough to where you get at least a basic understanding of what happened. I'm very curious to see responses from people who this was affected by. So if you don't feel comfortable commenting on this video, you can feel free to hit me up in the Line app, ProfHoff, one word, or feel free to comment below. I really think that there are a number of perspectives on this that are important to hear out, and I certainly want to be a cognitive discussion tool for the community when it comes to issues like this. So yeah, collusion in Marvel Contest of Champions. Russia who, right? What a crazy world that we live in, but at the same time, I'm not entirely surprised by it either. Anyhow, thanks for watching, YouTube. I hope you have a wonderful day, and good luck at the end of Alliance War Season 2 in the game.